Barbarian on the first map, it was chaotic. Might be the same thing on the second map. We had so many OTs on the first one, and now as we look into Pearl, no composition changes from either teams here, Christine.
Yeah, same comfort picks coming out from both squads, and you're right, I don't think we're going to see anything different. Pauly spoke about it in her interview. They need confidence, they need to play just like they do at home, and right away, some aggression and a beautiful shot to find the opening here for Baby TZ.
And that was a knife to set things up to make sure that Baby TZ wasn't going to be able to TP behind the pillar, but a great start indeed for X10. And as we're looking at the compositions too, Shopify Rebellion are looking with the last 4 remaining to hit towards this A site. What do they have right now? A couple of haunts to work with too, but no, smokes are running in now already. The smokes have been popped already rather towards the A site, and it's Shopify Rebellion opening it up in this area.
Such good utility coming up from both squads. Shopify able to capitalize off that though. A good C's coming out for KP so she can fall back, get into a power position in this post. All three members of defenders coming out here from spawn.
This is going to be so annoying to deal with because now you can just waste the time with this gravity well, then go for triple peaks, a late lurk if you want to from Benita. That is for Shopify Rebellion on his pulse plan. But nice snake bite actually, not deep enough, but we still get 2 kills coming in from X10. Now it's just going to be KP stuck in the corner. Ginny runs up. Now onto the defuse. Up to halfway, Benita has to walk down. Nice one onto Baby TZ. Can she clutch this right now? Ginny has to try to stick it. It's a tap. Benita gets the Red Bull clutch.
Huge plays coming out here for Shopify. And you saw the positioning of all 4 members. Benita was so far back, but as she should. She's got the kit to be able to clutch in these posts. Beautiful job, and I gotta say that entry was so neck and neck. You saw both Prowlers just kind of passing each other, both fades getting so many pings across the board, but beautiful entries here for Shopify to be able to get into that site and put themselves in this post position.
And in the end, we talked about how intense this series was gonna be, and nothing was really out of the ordinary in terms of like really brawly or anything. It looked really clean on how you wanted to retake the site. The shots we're landing to, it's not as scrappy. We're really still on top of our game in the series despite everything that just happened before. This round, Baby TZ already forced on to TPing back towards the back of the B site, and we are relentless for Shopify Rebellion. Nice little flash allows Sonder to get into the back of the B site, trying to get the spray with this Spectre, and finally does so. But Baby TC's just behind, trying to go for the surprise attack. Not going to work. Things are looking better now for especially that Shopify Rebellion to clean things up in the second round.
A little bit of a labored spray for Sonder, but it's all good. Her pathing on this map, it is explosive. So absolutely look out for Sonder to be capitalizing off all the info that KP and Lori are both going to be providing her. And she's just... You saw Baby TZ going again for that opening, right? On that pistol round, she found that success, finding that beautiful sheriff shot onto things, but business as usual. A clean anti-eco, and you know, that's not something we were able to say every anti-eco coming into this match.
That's true, and Lori already won away before getting the KO ultimate, which would be actually huge for them to get, which is why now Shopify Rebellion are fighting towards this A site, the A control orb. Now we have the null command ready for Lori, who has been an amazing player on this map in previous matches here at the Game Changers as well.
Exploding on that KO. Shopify are just completely slowing things down, collecting that orb near this A main area. And usually the defenders have to be wary. Did a chamber get inserted? Is there an Astra lurking? Where's the rat? Ooh. But all 5 members of Shopify have completely regrouped. Baby TZ about to run into 3.
This is going to be so tough here. And now contact, the null command, she can't TP away, but she still gets the headshot to Sonder. Now just looking for some cover behind the pillar, trying to waste the time down. It doesn't work out. No snake bites to slow things down. Muffin, though, has rotated towards the back of the B halls as a KO knife actually spots her all the way in the back. But all of that, the KO ult is down.
Benita being such a rat. The timing here is going to be everything. Alyssa has sniffed it out. A couple of whiffs. But this pressure that Benita's applying should allow Shopify to get into the site here.
But the battle ensues towards B. Meanwhile, as Pauly is not allowing Shopify to get a plant down, we fight back with Ginny. KP down to low HP. It's a 2v2 as she peeks out. Half of the body was sticking out. Gravity well towards the ground. Benita down to 30 HP. 10 seconds left. She has that quick, but the body speaks out from Ginny. And finally, Polly comes out. A slight mistake, finally, as we see in this series, as Ginny was still exposed, but at least was saved by her teammate.
Absolutely. Just the tip of the gun barrel showing and peeking through. And we've seen those moments so many times today.
That's true.
Oh, man, just a little sliver, but she's able to capitalize. And you know what? If I'm Shopify, I'm absolutely satisfied with that bonus coming into this one, making it so damn expensive for X10. They're going to have to repurchase everything coming into this one.
And with this round, everything that they have to repurchase for X10, it's a Guardian, it's a Spectre, a Bulldog, 2 Bulldogs, so it's not good economy coming in here for X10, but thankfully, we've activated a Viper's Pit from Ginny that covers all the way of Plaza and has a heavy control towards both B-Link and Art.
Yeah, and Ginny's going to have to be extra disciplined, extra cautious in this area. Just last round, we saw Bonita being that rat, looking for those lurk timings. And Shopify have completely slowed this round down once again. Bonita's positioning here is towards that B main, and she's just looking for a sniffer, right?
Yeah.
Shopify, all 4 members very much grouped, and look at the forward positionings from the defenders. Last time, Muffin was so rewarded in this position.
Exactly. And Muffin get it. The first contact comes out. Muffin does get that first kill. Really bull, but Saunders runs it down for the trade-off on the 2 kills. A tough thing to do when all the stars are already placed elsewhere inside the map here for X10. And Shopify Rebellion zooming through the A site will get a plant for A main.
Zoom, zoom, and look who it is. It's none other than Bonita
Boo-boo.
on this fast flank. Ginny and Baby TZ, they've got to try to survive, get some frags, but they're just completely surrounded.
Yeah, but the timing is good for X10. They think that they have a good timing, but you're right. Inside the pit from Flowers, now there's only one left. Alyssa with the Bulldog forced to retreat. And that is Shopify Rebellion from so far, like when it comes down to taking sites and taking the fights, as soon as they get kills or whatnot, they are just going to continue to hold that W.
Just press the issue. Don't let go of the gas pedal. The desk was certainly talking about that. This is huge frags for Alyssa. If she's able to survive, get one more ultimate, one more orb closer to the ultimate. Not too shabby, all things considered, if you're X10. And she is going to be able to survive.
Yeah. Made the round expensive.
Absolutely. Hero, Vandal as well coming into this one. And as I mentioned, 2 away from the ultimate, 1 away from the tour de force for Baby TZ. Look, it's going to be a scrappy buy, but maybe 3 members of X10 can push forward, get the orb for Baby TZ, and make this round as interesting as possible.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Christine, if my dual de force is being put on you right now, trying to get the accent like mine. It's fun to say. It's fun to say, what can I do? What can I say? But, yeah. An aggressive push from X10 all the way up towards the B site. To go for the Prowler. Very aggressive play from X10.
Yeah, I think Baby TZ's trying to catch up quick to try to grab the orb. A fast blink is going to be in action, but Shopify, it's a free site. They're already in.
Huge control as well. Once again, Sonar gets inside of the dugout. And he's trying to push back towards spawn. With support coming out from Flowerful. All we're trying to do right now, at least, is to try to leverage this Vandal that's in the hands of Alyssa. So a triple fight to come through, and there's that perfect trade, allowing also the Headhunter to do some work, also salvaging an extra weapon for this retake attempt for X10. KP in position at Church. Will get the easy headshot as, man, these bodies are dropping from both ends. KP, although being deafed by the Nightfall, finally gets dropped, and it's up to a 1v1. Tap onto the spike going between the lanes. But now that clock is ticking, you have to try to go for it. And Saunders goes for the overdrive to add insult to injury. And Shopify Rebellion are up at 4.
Better safe than sorry. Saunders absolutely still wanted to utilize the speed. And that speed definitely pays off for a player like Saunders. She's just so quick with her reactions. I was terrified when she came out of that wall and the Asher was on the other side of things. But it's Saunders and she's good for it. And things got dicey. That was actually a pretty decent retake attempt coming out from X10, all things considered. We talked about the lesser weaponry. That quick flank coming through and taking care of Bonita on the extremities to make this post actually a retake possibility was everything for X10. And what a huge opening. Neon on neon violence.
And Alyssa tries to fight back. It works out. Perfect trains continues. Can Paulie get this next one? Will not. 2 versus 2 as apologies. That knife was from KP on that previous round, so it was available for Alyssa to try to slow things down towards Art, but to use her weapons instead for the trades.
And look, the positioning that Benita's able to take. So much distractions happening down in that mid-art area.
Yes.
Benny has all the control. Her teammate in Lori will be catching up. No sound cues to be heard. And both defenders fully buying into this A hit. This time is going to start ticking away pretty quick here.
Especially with this wall coming up, this might be the cue now for X10. As soon as they realize the spike is planted, can just start booking it back towards the A side. And thankfully here is that Baby TZ is still alive. That trademark's still available in that B link.
And you're so terrified if you're X10. You've got to clear every corner, every angle as you're trying to make your way and make space back into the site here. That Astral Wall putting an extra spanner in the works, and the corner, Benita so ready.
Unfortunately, the cannon of that Dota Falls is way too long. Easy kills on the last 2. And Shopify Rebellion, we're starting to see them take control of the first half of their map pick.
The seesawing, the defaulting, working so well. And we've heard in multiple interviews Shopify talking about KP's strengths in those mid-rounds.
Yeah.
All the information that her players are able to gather for her, making that perfect mid-round call of which site to hit.
Nice!
And this is one of the strengths of Shopify is learning to slow it down, right? And
yeah, agreed.
We haven't seen it as much in NA, but it's great to see that towards the end of the year, especially on LAN now, at the biggest tournament of the year, it's looking fluid. It's looking solid.
I agree. And it's a little bit of that mix between KP and also Benita, right? If KP is going to call the initial play, Benita's playing that lurk. If she has that timing, she could call the mid-round as well, especially if KP falls throughout the action, that they could try to win these situations at potentially a disadvantage, or when, again, she's able to cut that rotation across to allow Shopify Rebellion to capitalize on these rounds.
This timeout for X10, this is a round that they will want to invest quite a bit in trying to convert 3 ultimates online, but the money is an issue. Baby TZ, she's been able to be good for those openings, especially towards that long B area.
Yes.
If she's able to find an early pick somehow, some way, expect these ultimates to come online for X10.
As we're looking at the setup, at least, we could potentially see that battle once again for her to take control towards that long B. But it might be one of those moments as you want to play aggressive because of this low buy, and if it doesn't work out where you gambled and the action's not there, you could play the retake with these ultimates.
So aggressive, Muffin. Coming through, KP.
Counter hot though. That spots a couple of players. Nice a little relay bolt looking for some support. And now looking around the corner, it's not being checked. But somehow Muffin still gets 2 kills with the overdrive. KP, yes, is able to answer back. And there you go. She even shakes her head on that one. Doesn't know how she couldn't get that kill on that aggressive Muffin. And now it's a 2 versus 2. Still very doable for X10.
Almost running out of mouse pad space for sure is KP.
But those secret lab tables are so long.
At least they were able to rendezvous now. The spike has come up and met up with KP. They're making so much noise though here, Vance.
Yeah.
A lot of sound cues, both defenders together.
Ooh. And it works out for the trade. Fireful with the spray transfer to win that duel.
And you love to see it. Just bait your teammate.
Yep.
Bait him. Tell KP to get out there. I got you. I'm good for it. And she's able to convert. Beautiful stuff. And that could have been pretty deadly. I mean, because there was just so much utility, so much noise that X10 already made that pre-rotate happen. So good on Shopify for being able to convert that one, but man, was it hectic. And KP's feeling it. She's feeling the pressure.
Oh yeah, but you still salvaged a round. You still get the win. It's 6-1 for Shopify Rebellion. A lot of economies rolling in finally for X10 as they're changing the pace, pushing out towards Art, forcing out an early null command from Lori. But the player advantage still comes in for X10 and they fall back to play that player's advantage.
And this is a beautiful start for X10. Finally able to have some breathing room. They've got all the advantages. Perfect fallback as well. No trade in sight. And Shopify, they're forced to just completely slow it down. Well, not so much force. We've seen that they're A-okay with being put in this position.
X10 so far from that first series have those moments where they're playing very aggressive. So cutting that noise, trying to see if X10 wants to re-aggress down towards Plaza could get punished. KP, meanwhile, did pick up a Norb, though. So they have a Nightfall ready for a very heavy hit, despite the disadvantage of players that they have. It seems to be maybe to work towards this mid. Maybe towards spawn as well.
They want to try to draw one of those A defenders, make them come back towards this A so that Benita is able to find a timing, but Baby TZ is so good for it. Either way though, Benita, she's got to take a risk. And she's rewarded!
Works for that, but another one's inside the dugout.
Oh.
Polly trades back. But the Nightfall then comes in from the defender, spawning the last two already inside the site. Noise fully cut. That allows Polly to get the kill, but Lori's going to have to go in a clutch.
She can't hear anything. She doesn't know.
But she sees the first and second kill. The plant to come down, forcing it on the ground. No push coming out from BBTZ. Only has an op to work with. A flash to peek out, picking up a second weapon with 12 bullets left. But the headshot comes in for BBTZ. And X10 managed to get the round.
So close. Lori, always in these close neck-and-neck clutch scenarios. Scenarios that she probably, it's just so difficult to win 1 versus 3, but she makes it so close every time that I'm a believer.
Oh, yeah.
But X10, Baby TZ, able to convert that one, and that took everything out of X10 to be able to do.
I agree. And we mentioned just before Lori how she pops off on this map, but 3 versus 1 definitely doable. She's done it with a Sheriff on like a 4K previously. The last time they played this map on Pearl. But yeah, definitely a round that was won for X10, but another, once again, expensive round that comes out of X10 for that victory. So you have a Bulldog, small shields for a player. What can he do with this?
She's still smiling. She's still hyped.
That's true.
I love to see that. Sonder, very aggressive once again, and she's got 4 teammates right behind her. This looks like they want to commit.
And that's off a Nightfall from KP to answer back.
Nice
from
slow.
The previous one. Yes, it actually did deafen one player towards Church, and that's Polly, and even Alyssa towards the back. Beautiful decay, or from the Haunt as well. But that's just going to slow things back just because we countered just enough with the smoke coming out from
and there was
Polly.
just so much counter utility that Benita's been able to slip past. You can see her teammates are being very patient. Now the hit is coming.
And a counter flank is about to come out from the A lane. Can it be fast enough, Alyssa? So many players, so many bodies, and the timing doesn't work out. Plant's about to come through, but Ginny now gives her position away. Just trying to get KP down, trying to push KP out of position, and she's going to die. Great patience as well from Ginny. And a double swing doesn't work out, but this is going to be definitely the cue to just try to save your weapons because you have invested that operator into this round as well.
Yeah, Benita wanted to go hunting, and she's good for the shot. That stings if you're Ginny. Unable to survive off that one. Baby TZ, this is so much pressure is on her way.
Yes.
At least nobody flanking. She's got a trip behind her, so maybe she'll be able to survive. But what a round coming out here for Shopify. And they were A-okay with all that trading of utility. Nobody was able to get any space, get any ground, but it was all a distraction. You saw that because so much was going on in that main corridor, Benita, again, slipping past everything.
Exactly.
Finding that timing, and her teammates just absolutely reacting so fast off her opening here in the site.
That's right. In the end, so far from what I'm currently seeing from X10 is that they're able to fight and trade perfectly, but Benita keeps slipping through the line of defense from X10 every single time, and that's been a huge difference maker for this Shopify Rebellion team. How does X10 stop this? They have to start figuring that out. They have to start identifying where Benita is currently lurking.
Yeah, another quasi-buy scenario. Ginny, thankfully, is going to be able to drop that Viper's Pit. Hopefully buy some time. And again, in the back of my mind, in the back of Ginny's mind rather, she is absolutely thinking about Benita on that quick lurk.
Yeah. Could be in the back of your mind as well. Christine, you've been in IGL in the past, so you probably have the same thoughts as Ginny, but for Shopify Rebellion!
So aggressive!
The beautiful walls, the flashes, the double push in the back. This is just standard stuff for the take towards the B site, and it works out perfectly when all the pistols have dropped. Nothing they can really do here as Baby TZ tries to make some sort of effort. A flash allows Sonder to flank from behind, and that's Baby TZ that will not be able to salvage or save that operator. Sonder gets the execution, and Shopify Rebellion take the lead by 6.
completely controlling the pace of this game so far, Shopify. They haven't really struggled much, especially in the mid rounds, and they look to be in full control. X10, they gotta be able to get a couple more rounds on the board here, and this is it. Baby TZ with that Tour de Force. This is a healthy purchase. I'd like to see a little bit something different. You know, Baby TZ did push down that long B. Again, maybe with some help this time around. Neon inserted into the covey, but Baby TZ, she's all alone.
With the ult, trying to see if a second one was going to ping out, but to no avail. Wasted one bullet off that Prowler. Now the null command being picked up by Laura as they execute it to B.
Yeah, Baby TZ, no gun to be had, and Saunders just been so aggressive. She's gonna take over this back hall once again. Waiting for her teammate. Good discipline. The spike should get down. Power positions for Shopify.
We're just waiting for that null command to finish so that Baby TZ could get that tool to falls back out. It works for the first and even the second kill. We retake control of the back B halls for X10.
Oh.
But the long range play is being played. Alyssa getting the headshot onto Sonder. Flowerful on the top of control. Poison orb, wall coming out, everything. As we're trying to get the defuse in, it's at least a halfway. But it seems as though it might not be doable here. Flowerful looking for the playmaker. Gets the headshot onto Baby TZ. But finally, we get the defuse out for X10.
Beautiful stuff for X10. A little bit lucky to be alive there. Sonder, so many targets for her to choose, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that trigger discipline, you see the Viper walking past. Do I go past her or not? Unfortunate for Sonder, but fortunate turn of events here for Shopify, or for X10 side of things, at least, to stop the bleeding here. Do we get a fourth on the board here, Vance?
I'm hoping it's going to be the case. I mean, Baby TZ, she's definitely hitting those shots with that Dota False and doing a great job holding towards this B side. So it comes down to this control that you want to try to get towards the A orb. Because you maybe have this Nightfall that KP maybe want to inch towards this mid that they did before as well.
Really like the pressure that Sonder just applied onto Ginny there, tanking that Molly, but being okay with it, taking care of that chamber trip. Now Ginny is going to be paranoid the entire round. Where is Bonita lurking?
Whew. And he tried to push back out from the Nightfall on mid. X10 trying to take control of long.
Jeez, what?
But Bonita is just doing such a great job. Polly answering back, head on a swivel for 2 kills, making it potentially salvageable for X10. Ginny looking for her timing. As the smoke dissipates, nobody's in sight.
She's waiting a little bit. Baby TZ's right on her heels. Not a lot of utility to work with here at all. They're going to want to try to tap the spike and draw out one of these players.
Well, Ginny now spotted. We're just looking for the trade play.
One enemy.
The seize, but Flowerful still gets 4 kills into the round, winning that round and saving it for Shopify Rebellion.
I saw a world, Vans. I saw a world where that flick coming out for Ginny was good for it, but thankfully for Shopify, Flowerful comes through strong, and that's Shopify dominating this first half. Finally, a strong start here in the first half here for Shopify.
Yeah, and I could see it right now from Shopify Rebellion, hitting out towards those sides, playing the back sides a little more passively, trying to stop Bonita on the flanks. But is it too little too late? At least in wrestling, we have the people's elbow, but in Valorant, we got the people's voice. Let's set it to the desk with Golden Boy.
Damn it. I love you, man, silly. I really do. All right, well, let's break this down because, look, not to be that guy, but this is simply just not the way that we saw this going with the composition that X10 put into place here.
Sure, but hey, it's a 9-3 again,
That's true.
so they can spin it straight around. I mean, honestly, the more I look at how these two teams match up, it feels like there is just a really rough stylistic mismatch, I think, for X10, especially when it's Shopify on the attack, because Shopify, the way they play out so many of the rounds is this slow, very solid default style, and X10 just keep running after them.
And we had a round that really exemplified that, where it is just this aggression out of X10. We saw it on Haven, we see it again here. They're putting all their eggs in the basket of Muffin pushing forward, going for a crazy play. And as you can see in this one, it works. She gets 2 kills, KP whiffs a little bit, and she's able to get away with it. But the thing is that Shopify was here. They had 4 players ready to hold for this aggression. The only utility supporting Muffin in those pushes is just Fade utility. You don't have a breach, you don't have anything else to follow it up. And on top of that, like you were saying, GB, this is a stall composition with the 2 controllers. It doesn't feel like they're playing to the strength.
It's just a wild play. They're pushing 3A main, 2B main. It was a north side crunch trying to go for it.
And now as we look into the second half, I feel like we have to talk about Sonder. She's been having such a good map already. And on the defensive side, she's a lot more reserved, but still finds a lot of value on that Neon.
Yeah, it definitely puts herself in positions, especially Neon takes a lot of fights around mid. You'll also see maybe some B-long pushes as well coming into play. Things that Muffin was trying to go for on the opposite side, but Muffin could only find 4 kills. Sonder now has to find way more than that.
And I think I've been more impressed thus far by the way that Shopify has been putting investment in supporting Sonder. Muffin is a great player, but on this map, it didn't feel like she had the tools to succeed.
Yeah, it is rough when your star player simply is not outputting the way that you want it to be. And that's not necessarily on Muffin. I think it's just on the way that they are approaching this, as we have highlighted already. This is very clearly an issue that they're going to need to try and sort through. But hey, stranger things have happened. It's 9-3. Let's send it back to the future AEW Tag Team Champions of the World. It's Potter and Vansili.
What?
Yeah, I just always love the comments that come out from Mimi right after, but thank you so much, GB, Mimi, and Ender, as yes, the second half, it is definitely a very slow start for X10. How did they come back out of this?
Yeah, it's a slow start, but man, Saunders having fun. Look at that stat.
We gotta stop her.
80% success rate. X10, they've got a lot to do here to slow her down. Muffin has been very active on the defense now. She's gonna be able to be a little bit more free. Prowler catches Lori.
At least pushes the defense back towards the little drop by Vines. As more Prowlers are looking for information on the other end. And through that smoke, we have regained control of Shopify Rebellion. That's just utility being used. Now it's time to go for trades. Haunt to break the crosshair placement. Muffin gets the first blood onto Sonder. We wanted to stop her. We finally did. As this frenzy continues to go to work right now for X10. Only 2 left to go. Where KP has to fall back and is now getting met here by Flowerful towards Flowers.
Gets seized a little bit. And that's gonna certainly slow down this retake. Baby TZ on this quick flank. Cosplaying as Benita here.
Maybe not, because Benita was landing those shots. She gets punished for that too. Now we're pushing back towards the church, but there's still too many players available for X10 inside the site. KP is gonna have to come out clutch. 10 bullets in the chamber. Oh my god, all these right clicks. Close range looking for the ace. Oh, but the right click connected for a bit. Ginny survives with only 18 HP as X10 salvaged the pistol round.
That was incredible. What an attempt coming out here for KP. Those are NTs in the chat, 100%.
Agreed.
What a round. Just slipping past once again. And the power of the frenzy, man. Muffin able to convert that opening, just beelining it into the site, completely catching Benita off guard.
Wonder how many HP Alyssa, or how much HP or Baby TZ had on top of that staircase.
That was a long range
I was gonna say, it was like
classic,
100
right?
damage, I don't know.
So far away.
But nonetheless, this is going to be a gun round coming in for X10. They have Spectres across the board.
This time, Shopify not forcing through in the advantage by a long shot. So a bit conservative coming into this one. 2 shorties though.
And Art still seems to be the name of the game here for X10.
Oh,
as
no.
though the crossfire with the pistols are still too strong. Now here comes once again the boomstick inside. As Ginny answers back in. A frenzy, a shorty, spike down, 2 flanking. And X10 has there's not a lot of time to work with. There's a minute, yeah, but they still have to salvage the spike. And Ginny's walking into a trap.
Oh boy.
Good
All
luck.
3 members of Shopify just converging on that area. Polly at least has a spike on her back. Completely clear is a site. She doesn't know it though. She's still got to clear all her corners. Full kit on her back though. This is a doable post. Time will be ticking away, but all three members of Shopify are so grouped here.
Yeah, nothing more he could do here but to play towards the back of the site. Stars to try to get some smokes in. One more star to go there she could use for a grab well. But look how quickly Shopify Rebellion are moving inside the site. This might not give enough time here for X10 to actually go for at least a rotate across. There goes the first gravity well, and she has to try to sneak across, and that's just a Nightfall, the nightmare for Pauly, who does not get the kill onto KP.
Oh, and that's punishing. That's gonna burn for X10 here. Shopify Rebellion had barely anything coming into this round, but that's kind of been the telltale sign for Shopify. These shotguns, whenever Shopify is wielding them, they are so deadly. Whether it's Bonita, whether it's Lori or KP, these shotguns, they just, and it makes sense. They're always talking about having fun in the server. How much more fun can you have jumping around, hop, skip, jumping with a shotty?
And especially when we saw the warm-up that we had from the halftime of Haven, we were already trying to warm up with Odins and Shorties, so maybe that's why it came into fruition finally into that round number 14 previously on Pearl right now. And speaking of in the moment, it is going to be an eco round for X10. The chances are of them trying to come back in this game is slowly escaping them. As this might be a round that they lose, the next gun round is going to be the most important one to try to start that comeback. But Shopify Rebellion, they have full control of the attack, defense. I don't know what they could do for X10.
Hopefully, try to get some good shots, some feel-good headshots coming into this round. They're going to need that sort of confidence going into the next gun round, potentially the last one of this entire series. What a flank for Muffin!
Using your duelist to go for the lurk. That opens up, oh my god, the A side for a bit until Bonita's up there on the top of the dugout. And that's just a solid hold coming in for Shopify Rebellion. But again, you had lower weaponry. Hopefully that kill that you had on KP could have done something for that hero rifle, but Shopify Rebellion, they have control of this of these sites.
Yeah, it seems like Shopify have a really good grasp of that choke point over towards that A site. I mean, and it's where X10 just keep going, right? Time and time again. It seems like Muffin, that is her confidence part of the map, but it's just at this point going into a blender.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you, Christy, because you're looking at this composition from X10 where they're not using any flashes, or you're just focusing so much on this mid-control towards art all the time.
I think X10, they just got to slow it down, really utilize this Viper, start to let the paranoia creep into Shopify. Let's cut off half of the map, and you can see that the Viper wall is there at B, but without any B main control, this Viper wall doesn't really do much.
Yeah. A little bit of a spray from Sonder through the poison orb as we had that lineup coming out from Ginny, so they could at least try to see if that trap is there from that chamber, but she comes out of it with 48 HP.
Pushing Flowerful off this angle from Baby TZ and X10 is going to be so crucial to be able to capitalize off this pressure of the Viper wall. Pauly gets spotted on holding the flank.
Here's the issue here. No knife to force a TP out, so Flowerful gets the pick. Sonder trying to support back, going with the walls to fall back, and they play those numbers. That was perfect. Meanwhile, though, for X10, they did notice that there was 2 players flanking from Shopify.
Yeah, but right now, Pauly is a bit terrified. She saw the 2, and she's got to hold back. Power in numbers is Shopify. Bonita pausing for just a second to let Lori catch up. This duel is going to be so huge here for Pauly. Oh, they decide to fall back. I like this.
Exactly. They have everything contained, right? The 2 players are blocking everybody towards shop. You flank from long A back into the B shop, so you have 3 players stacked inside the site. Play the time. But now we force out the Viper's pit. Nice kill from Sonder. So the pit's going to go back down. But Bonita's still holding it. Cosmic Divide to try to divide the B site so we can retake for Shopify Rebellion. But we don't clear the back of the B halls.
Oh, boy.
Shorty from Fireful onto Pauly as they now take series point.
Get shorties on everyone for this last round. It's the only way to secure it if you're Shopify. Everyone needs a shorty in their hands as their secondary. Look at the money on X10. It is completely deflated. Muffin's got a bit more to work with. Maybe she can pass over a weapon, but this is it. They've got to pour everything into this last, and they don't have much to work with.
Yeah. 5 seconds left into this round. You talked about it. The economy's so low for X10. I think we might put all of our eggs into one basket. 4 players now pushing out towards the A orb to try to move quickly. Overdrive, as you can hear, coming out now from Muffin, putting the wall up.
but here comes the counter. Nice C's on the ground, a smoke to come up. They still have a star onto the ground if Benita wants to throw a concuss. That said, Lori sprays through, and that's Muffin already to fall. So we regress back up towards mid. Ginny gets the headshot to Benita. Trade attempt, denied.
Sonder just getting taken out as well. That's so huge for X10. Now Lori feels like she has to force the issue. Spots one. Oh, they're just getting wiped out. This is a huge round for X10. How punishing they've been is all down to just Flowerful. She's got the operator. You know, we've been talking about SR being in just control the whole time, but she's definitely going to want to save this.
Yeah.
If I'm X10, I'm hunting.
And even for Ginny, those 2 kills were crucial there. Flowerful holding all the way back towards this B halls in the back of the site. We'd like to go for that hunt if we could, but now you have to force every single round, try to bring it to OT. Losing any guns here might also be a detriment to the economy later on into the rounds.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. I gotta backtrack. I'll backpedal a little bit. They can't chase. Come on.
I got you, Christine.
Their money's too low. They've got to play this one out. They've got a lot of rounds that they have to claw their way back to bring this one into OT. So thinking of the long game is X10. They want to save up some of that economy. Flowerful will be able to take this operator into the next.
Yeah.
And it's a bit wonky because X10, I'm not sure if they'll be able to just perfectly replicate that, right? You saw Muffin going into the site, dry, got stuck in that gravity well, didn't really get much value, and a bit of luck coming through here for Ginny was able to just completely turn things around, but maybe another added piece of layer of utility for Muffin to be a little bit more successful on those entries, because right now Shopify are able to stop it at its tracks.
Yeah. You needed definitely some heroic plays from Ginny, especially when she had a Spectre against 2 players with rifles. But what seems to have been successful here for X10 is getting like Ginny on that lurk, Muffin on that lurk, playing a very much similar style than Benita did on the attack, while the other ones are just grouped up to do some heavy pressure. I think it's pretty much a similar game plan as we're currently seeing from X10. But they have 7 rounds that they need to try to bring this back into overtime. Doable in a map like Pearl. As we have the Nightfall coming out now from X10 into this A site. Muffin looking to find that space. Inside the orb of the smoke, does manage to get the kill, but the spike falls. Paulie answers back as the player advantage goes back in favor of X10.
So much damage. Sonder chipping away at Paulie there. But Ginny has been here the whole time, and she's not going to let Benita do it to her again. Takes her out. Sonder in a 1 versus 3.
Has walked out, just got spotted. Now she can relay bolt, but nice pre-fired shots coming in from Paulie. Good timing. Lands a bullet in the skull of Sonder. And X10, they're able to survive another round, and also with 3 players to make sure that their buy continues to stay healthy.
And that was such good timing coming out here for Paulie to be that patient, be that disciplined, and really be aware of when to start inching forward. As soon as Muffin got that contact towards that A corridor, that's when Paulie starts inching forward, right? And she gets completely rewarded for it, catching Flowerful off guard. And that's such a huge impact frag coming through here for X10. Broken by Shopify. X10 have finally done enough, at least, to have some hope at the end of the tunnel in this second half, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we still got a long ways to go, but this is how it begins.
So KP threw an early haunt towards A long. But the signature move here from X10 is that it's going to be a slow start and not too much utility being used at the very beginning. They're just trying to creep through to get a kill. And that's one of those moments where the duel comes in the upper hand. Muffin starting to find her groove here on the attacker half to win that duel against Flowerful. But this was indeed a mixed buy coming out from Shopify Rebellion trying to get their economy right.
And a new look coming out here for X10, much more controlled. Obviously, they understand that Shopify have lesser weaponry, but I like the look coming out, regressing and falling back. That was so close for Lori.
Forced to fall back now as the second shot whisked by Muffin. Big flash coming through, and the overdrive just to try to get Sonder behind screens. Long range now with a dink on the first. Relay bolt, we're trying to answer back. Double smokes onto the ground, just trying to spray through. Here's the issue. There's no flashes coming out on the attack, so to try to come out of these smokes is going to be so dangerous. And we're just shocking and shocking, trying to land these shots. That refreshes on that kill.
Wow.
There's another one, and the
forth looking for the ace, and she's gonna get it to seal the deal for Shopify Rebellion, winning that map 13-6.
And what a perfect way to just close it out in map 2. Do not let the comeback happen. Don't let any sort of weird shenanigans with this fake comeback happen. It's Sonder to finally push it over the edge and get her ace.
That was crazy, and there was just so much spamming going through those double smokes. We just wanted to commit so much here for X10 to at least try to pierce through that barrier of the orbs. Yes, looks of disappointment, but I think for X10, you should definitely still be able to